invitation to deliver a speech at the convention.
The European Union and NATO have condemned Russia's removal of buoys along a waterway demarcating its international border with Estonia.
On Thursday, Russian border guards removed 24 of the 50 buoys placed by Estonia.
A U.S. soldier stationed at the Gaza pier platform sustained critical injuries and was evacuated to Israel, along with 2 others who were injured in incidents that a military official described as non-combat related.
The pier, anchored to the beach in Gaza, has been operational for about a week.
A massive fire erupted on Saturday at an amusement park in Gujarat State in western India, resulting in the tragic deaths of at least 22 individuals, including several children.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Fackity jackity
Get coffee in here, please.
Oh, coffee, please. Yes, ma'am. We can have some coffee, please. Yes, ma'am. Right away. Come on it. Come on it. Come on it. Coffee, the caffeine, it does.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
All right. Let me see you laugh. Go ahead. Wow. Rock and roll, rock and roll. We're going around, rock around. You know what? I got a glass gas in the car. I got a little more body than about that. You don't like that? Yeah. Bang, bang, boom, boom. Good morning, Earthlings. You know what? Good morning, UK. UK, as I like to call it. Last week, and maybe this is just an anomaly, but last week we had more listeners in the UK than we did in the United States or Canada, not and Canada combined, but either one of those. UK was number 1, Canada was number 2, US number 3. Which is surprising, but maybe UK had better things, or didn't have better things to do last week. And the United States and Canada were both preparing for a big, no, not Canada. The United States was preparing for a big 4-day weekend. Canada was just like, I don't know, whatever they do. They were counting body lights or something, whatever they do. I don't know, busted the body crab. Anyway. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. It's a beautiful day here. Summer is here. Like I said, we don't have spring. We go directly from winter to summer here. And boy, did we ever. I don't know if you can tell by this StreamYard window just what a fat fuck I am. But take my word for it. I'm a usually fat fuck. So much of a fat fuck that I came within 1 pound of not being allowed on the zip line in Vegas. They had a 250-pound limit. I was 249 pounds. That was years ago when I was skinny. Why am I telling you what a fat fuck I am? Because I broke my chair again, my office chair. I have a new chair coming today, but in the meantime, I don't have a chair to sit on, so I'm on my drum stool right now. And changes the angle of this whole thing, makes me have to kind of, I don't know, sit on my ass a lot more, like put a lot more weight directly on the anal structure of my rectal recreational, whatever I'm trying to say. I'm sitting on my ass hard on a drum stool, like I'm playing drums. If I were playing drums, I wouldn't notice it, but I'm sitting here talking about it, and I'm going to notice it. So I'm probably going to have to take many breaks today and get up and go get coffee and stuff like that, just to save my ass, as if you care about that kind of stuff. Had a great weekend. Oh, I'm squeaking a little bit. You hear the squeak? Now, that's not good. That's not good for playing drums. Squeaking. Anyway. Great weekend, but I realized that I'm probably getting too old for rock and roll. I'm going to have to just shut it down. Just it's to the point where I'm going to dig a hole in the backyard, and I'm going to tell my wife to throw some dirt on me, and just wait till I die one way or another. One way or another, I will die. But a ball playing Friday night. Friday night was insane, off the hook. Crazy fun. Did notice I was playing for a large number of Trumpers who, listen, this is the weird part about it. Trumpers and RFQers, I don't want to call somebody a Qer, RFK Jr. followers, all chant the mantra that America is being destroyed. America's destroyed. It's a shithole. It's a shithole country now. But they're all driving their boats, taking their boats, riding their boats to the beach to party on a 4-day weekend, like it's 1999, partying like crazy, spending money out, having good times. But yeah, America is just in the shitter. That's why they're out dancing all night in the summer and having just a ball in life. But yeah, it's terrible here. It's so fucking terrible. So terrible to be out dancing and having fun. It's a little bit inconsistent, if you ask me. Anyway, so Friday night was extremely fun for me, even though I was laughing a little bit about the guy with the Trump shirt dancing right in front of me the whole night, as if to tweak me a little bit. But I was exhausted at the end of the night. Exhausted. And the problem is, me and Mikey are doing like insane work. Yeah, we have help, but we set up like a massive concert system. You have no idea how. With subwoofers, like 97 speakers. I'm exaggerating a little, but lots and lots of PA speakers everywhere. And then you have to break it all down at the end of the night, load up trucks and get ready to leave again. And then by the time I get home, I am desperately in need of a hot tub or a massage or something. And then Saturday we had a follow-up gig, early gig after that. And then I had one on Sunday and one yesterday. So I'm kind of shot. I'm shot. I'm too old for rock and roll. And I'm realizing, and so it started Thursday with me. I had one Thursday, one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday, 5 gigs in 5 days. Which, when I was young, it was nothing. But now, the fat fuck that I am, fat ass chair breaking fuck that I am, I just don't have it, man. It's time for me to lay down and die. It's definitely what it is. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to play a Mind Bloom commercial. And then when I come back, I won't be back. We'll have the regular guys from the show without me, because I'll be in the backyard waiting for dirt to be thrown on me. So if you're depressed or anxious, check out Mind Bloom. Trip out. Put the mask on. And don't worry, someday you will get old and people will have to throw dirt on you as well.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content, meditations, and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Before GD points at his cup and says, "Oh, it's Ron stealing my spot." Before GD points at his cup and says the words minddogtv.com, just be aware that I am aware that the site is currently down. I'm rebuilding the site from scratch. I put it on my server now. It's on my hosting company, Mind Dog TV Hosting. But I'm going to start a new Vietnam War because the server is in Vietnam, and the server keeps going down every time I try to install WordPress or some other app on it. So I'm going to start another Vietnam War, of my own private Vietnam War. But just be aware. Why am I saying all that? Because minddogtv.com is down, but it will be back tonight in case you want to buy the shit that GD is about to tell you to buy.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. It's the unofficial start of summer. People will be outside grilling and sunning. This summer, be smart. Buy coffee. Oh, buy.
Coffee?
No, buy.
Bisexual.
Oh, here you go. Buy coffee with the dog sunscreen. Don't burn your meat this summer. MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
Yes, enjoy the suffering. Now, yeah, bye. Back me up back there. Now, did that dog always have coffee, or did he just add coffee to that dog?
No, he's always had coffee. He's always had coffee.
I guess I'm oblivious. I'm an oblivious old dude.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Stephen. You're very full of energy and happy and all that. I guess you didn't. Oh, you got stools too? Now
I've been using this stool for since my chair broke last something.
Wow.
Have you thought about a stool softener?
I could use a stool softener or a stool sample or something. It's not good for me. Like if I were playing drums, I wouldn't notice it. But sitting here like this, it's already bothering my ass. Like it's not a good feel.
And GD, I'm glad you have control over your stool.
I go through a lot of these office chairs, and I did not know until I ordered the chair that I'm about to get today that they have weight limit ratings.
Yes.
And the chairs my wife bought me the last one, the gamer one with the arrows, that had a 200-pound limit. So I'm like 100 pounds over that. I don't know if you can tell I'm a big fat bastard, but I'm a big fat bastard. So I ordered a 400-pound limit chair. We'll see how I do with that one. They have 500-pound limit chairs. Can you imagine being 500 pounds?
Nope.
Now, do you have like chair gliders on the floor, or what's on the floor? Is it rug or?
I have a little static guard thing, but it's mostly wood. It's mostly, a wooden floor, so I could roll around. But I can't roll around on a stool. I just do this.
Right, yeah.
That's probably good exercise for me to get rid of this.
And make squeaky noises.
Yeah. Can you hear the squeaks?
Yeah, but I've learned to tune it out because
Matt's ass is a squeaky toy.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now, I got home Saturday. I think it was Saturday night, and I was just having a gleeful time watching the Libertarian convention. I don't know if you guys have seen the tapes of it, the video of it, but Trump is being booed mercilessly, without mercy. Constantly, and they call him a dick. They're telling him, "Shut up! You're a loser. You had 4 years, you dick. You loser." And constantly, and he's sweating, trying to talk as fast as he can, and reading the teleprompter. And then he starts getting angry and losing it when he starts to argue with the crowd. And they had the rubber chickens to attack him with, and all this stuff. It was just, it's a taste of what happens when he steps outside the cult zone, which he hasn't really ever done before. I don't know what he was expecting, but it was glorious just to watch some of the stuff. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning just enjoying the shit.
The thing is, one of his advisors recommended it. One of it, and I can't remember what's his name now. One of his chief advisors, who's
he's dead. He's dead now.
I say he's probably the smartest of the advisors. Well, not the smartest, but at least the most strategic. The other ones don't. The other ones are like really, really cultish. This one is cultish, but he has strategy about how he wants Trump to behave.
I think we hurt Ron's feelings. And as we know, Ron is a major Trumper, And I think what we just
and also a softy. He's also got very thin skin.
He hasn't been the same since he lost his MAGA hat.
Yeah.
But you know, when I went to the Libertarian National Convention in 2016, it was a shit show then too. Except instead of Trump, we had McAfee.
Well, the guy they did, and I don't have his name here. The guy they did nominate looks like a guy who would pay Trump to have sex with his wife and then lick the cream pie out of his Trump's cream pie out of his wife's vagina. He looks like that kind of guy. So
I don't now. How do you determine that's what he looks like? Because I've seen a lot of faces, and I've never gotten anything that specific about anybody.
You look at this guy's face, you'll get it right away. I mean, he doesn't look like anybody who has.
During the next commercial break, could you pull his face up so we can see?
I'll see if I can find it. I'll probably add.
I'll talk to Stephen while you do that. So Stephen,
I'm not going to do it right now.
Okay.
I was just seeing if I can find his name now, but if I could, I will Photoshop Trump's cream pie onto his face, so you'll get the full effect. But no, but so the Trump came out yesterday, and this is the thing that if the cult doesn't wake up to this, because you can compare what you actually see in the video with people booing him to what Trump is saying. They love me at the Libertarian Party, and you could tell by the energy they really wanted to nominate me, but they can't because it's against the rules. All that bullshit, of course. But he's swearing that how much they love him there. And like, if the
that's why he got all of 6 votes. That's why he got 6 write-in votes.
No, forget the number of votes. The calling him a dick with the rubber chickens. You know, people paying money for rubber chickens to harass the guy is enough to say they don't really love you. They're looking forward to antagonizing you. They're calling him a dick when he said Biden was the worst president ever. He said, "No, that's you, dick."
So which company is the biggest rubber chicken producer in the country? Because I think that's why I need to invest some of my money.
I'd probably Tyson.
They got the biggest rubber chickens. Yeah, okay. Not Purdue.
Chicken.
GD,
Okay.
You're the one I figured would know where to get any sort of chicken product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, only if it's fried.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
So, but if the cult could just compare the statement to the actual video, then that they might actually wake up to the fact that this guy's just a bullshit artist. Maybe no.
That won't make a difference to them. I mean, they've had video film. It's all baked in. It's all baked in. When you prove that he's a liar, he's their liar. And then they'll try to find a worse lie that somebody else told. You know.
It's not the matter of degree of lying. It's the fact that he's telling you black is white and white is black and night is day and day is night.
Yes, they're fine with that.
Complete opposite of the truth. The complete opposite of the truth.
They're fine with that.
They're fine with that.
Yeah, they are.
I
know this because I have family that are Trump supporters.
Wow.
Yeah. Not black ones, white ones.
Well, there are lots of. Well, I don't know how lots, but there are definitely some black Trump supporters out there.
Yeah, but not in my family.
That football player guy came out last night talking about how Trump always tells the truth. What the fuck is his name? I don't know. Follow football anymore, so I wouldn't know. But apparently, this guy's pretty big. Richard Petty came out and hugged Trump at the Indianapolis 500.
Shocker.
I'm surprised Richard Petty's still alive. I am. Yeah,
shocked. That's the part that surprised me. Not that he
wrong Petty died. Tom Petty died, and Richard Petty is still alive. It's the wrong Petty died.
The king.
Yeah, and petty theft died. Now it's all grand larceny.
Right.
True.
So now today in court, Ron's back. Well, he's kind of back, almost back. He's halfway back.
There he is.
Drinking coffee and stealing spots again. Let's do this. No, like that. That's better. That's the lineup. Today they're back in court for closing arguments, and people all over Twitter think that this is how it's going to go. they'll be done with arguments by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then the jury will get it, and the jury will go, boom, he's guilty, and it's over with.
No.
No. I still think he's going to get acquitted, or there'll be a hung jury.
I think it'll be a mistrial.
I don't think. I think he'll. I do think that he'll be found guilty, but probably on. I'm thinking 29 charges, 29 counts.
All right. Well, you want to play some money on this? You want to go to mybookie.com and get ready?
Where's my bookie when you need it?
Yeah.
Nah, because I have inside information. I never bet when I have inside information.
That's the time you should bet.
Yeah, I was just
No,
saying
it's not fair. It's not fair.
Oh.
And I believe in. I don't
Well,
like.
You can't have inside information on what the jury is going to do unless you poll all 12 people on the jury.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Is that what you're saying you did?
I talked to them.
So we can declare a mistrial right now.
No, you can't.
Well, you just said you just talked to all 12 jurors and they told you.
Right, but we didn't discuss the case. We didn't discuss the case. We discussed.
And you don't have inside information.
I do. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You just talked yourself into a corner you can't get out of.
No, I'm not in the corner.
How many of them did you sleep with to get inside of them?
Right.
Now, here's the deal. Do you know how in politics when they say PAC?
You started that sentence with and no. I don't know. But go ahead.
Okay. In politics, one of the rules is that the super PAC may not coordinate with the candidate or his direct campaign.
Right.
But they do it all the time.
Right.
See, and they do it in a way which is legal because one of them will say something to a third party or in general, and then everybody else gets to hear it. So you're not discussing it. And that's exactly how you work with the jury. You don't discuss the case, but they can say things and you just hear it.
All right. Who was on the jury?
12 people.
Okay.
I'm not telling you their names.
I don't want their names. What is the racial or gender makeup of the jury?
Yeah, 5 to 7.
Of what?
The jurors is 5 to 7 makeup, men and women.
Okay, men and women. So 5 of them are men, 7 of them are women.
2 of them I couldn't tell.
How many Asians? how many Asians?
How many ancients?
Asian.
Asian.
No, I'm not profiling. I'm not going to get caught up in that. No.
So you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You don't.
I didn't. I know. Yeah.
You don't know. Anyway, so at very least, everybody's wrong. There's not going to be any verdict today. There's not going to be any.
No.
They're not even going to get it today. Even if they complete closing arguments, the judge has to charge the jury and explain exactly what they have to do. And then they'll take a break, and then it'll take. I don't know. Are we making wagers? I'm saying Thursday afternoon before they come back and say hung jury or acquittal.
And they have Wednesday. The jury has Wednesday off, right?
Oh, if I didn't know that, I might have to push my.
Don't they have unless they changed it after the trial? Now the trial actually is over, but. And both the prosecution and the defense both said that their closing arguments are going to take several hours.
Have you ever been on jury duty? Yeah.
No, I'm pissed off about that.
I'll send you some of my notices. I get them all the time.
I've gotten one notice, and they've never ever asked me again. They didn't put me on the jury. And never asked again.
Experience?
No, I've never been.
No. No.
Where the fuck they getting all these juries from? I'm the only one who ever does jury duty.
I posted on Facebook once. Matter of fact, I think it was last year before that. I said I'm in my 60s and I've only been called to a jury once. They let me go, and I've never been asked again. And it's kind of like it feels like I feel like I'm being rejected by my own system. And then I had somebody
like criminal, like you'd be pro, like you look like you'd be pro defendant. This guy.
Well, I just said I'm amateur defendant. I'm really not that good at criming.
Well, the reason I brought up the jury duty thing is juries, they want to get it over with. They don't want a day off. They just want to. Let us. We're to this point. We're almost ready to go home and just forget about this shit.
What? And get rid of that 50? They're getting like $50 a day, man. What are you talking about?
$50.
Is that? I think that's the going rate for jury participation.
There's more money in comedy than jury duty.
Yeah, but jury duty is more regular once you get it. Once you get in, it's regular. See, like they've been there for what, months now? A few weeks? 2 months?
Probably about 7 weeks, right? Is it 7 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 4 days. Yeah.
$250 a week, and I think they do take taxes out of that. If I recall correctly. Now it wasn't $50 a day. I think it was like $16 a day the last time I did it here.
Really?
And that wasn't that long ago. It was probably within the last 10 years. So, but yeah, so I don't know. I don't think we're going to see anything before Thursday. But now the idea that they might have off tomorrow might make me change that to maybe even next week. Push it back.
Yeah, see, I don't know that they're having. See, I don't know if that's still the because during the regular trial they had Wednesdays off. So, but they may have rescinded that only because he wants to get this over with.
Yeah,
and he doesn't. That's why they took a week off. They didn't want to break things up anymore.
Well, he's panicking. If you see what he's posting on True Social, like apparently he's not sleeping. The Adderall is just like constant now, and he's just tweeting every 3 seconds about panic shit, which I couldn't be happier to see him just shitting a brick over this thing.
It's about time he's getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
I think he will be charged with something in the end. Will he do jail time? Probably not, because he's a rich white guy. So we usually only go to jail when we murder our wives, but
or
money cases.
But the thing is, the things that he's being charged with are some of the same things that Cohen did time for already, and Cohen did 13 months.
Yeah,
and it would be hard to say, okay, well, the underling gets 13 months, but the mastermind gets nothing or probation. That would be a huge miscarriage of justice.
All right.
And then I would actually sell Michael Cohen the implement with which he wants to shoot.
You took me for a loop when you called Trump a mastermind.
I took myself I was saying that really I was bending and stretching the definition of master and mind when I said that.
But he doesn't have a squeaky stool like I do. He
probably has like one stool a month, and it's like a bear,
Now, remember, how we always talk about when we've descended into conversations about ass eating. I always say there's one in the chamber. Saturday night after a gig, I came home and took the biggest shit I've ever taken in my life. And there was nothing left in me. And then Sunday afternoon after my gig, I got home. I didn't eat anything in between. And I took another huge shit after not eating anything and taking the biggest shit in my life just within 16 hours before. So the point I'm making here, there is always one in the chamber. You don't even know where it's come from. I think you could go on a hunger strike, not eat anything for a month, and still have to shit every day. Your thoughts on that?
Oh,
well.
Here it is.
Okay.
This reminds me of church camp.
No, am I wrong? Do you think I'm wrong? You cannot eat and still have to shit every day.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know about every day.
Not every day,
because
but
it takes
frequently still.
Because I've done 40-day fast before, and after a while it takes a while to build up enough solid waste because your body is still cleaning and collecting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've done 3 of them.
Wow. Why did you do that? Because you were breaking office chairs with your fat ass?
No, spiritual reasons. Yeah.
All right. I blew up a Delta toilet on the way home from Vegas the same night with poop. On the plane on a bus is even worse. If you're on like a Greyhound bus and you do, because everybody has to live with it for hours then, because they don't even have like good fans like on planes where
you know what? Lucky you guys. If I fly out on a plane or go on a bus, I can't go to the bathroom.
Oh, where is our sound effect when I need it? I couldn't find it. I'm too slow on the sound effects. Yeah.
No, I
So
thought we had a sound effects guy. Didn't you hire a sound effects guy?
probably he quit when he never got paid. Apparently, people who accept a job expect to get paid for it, which is probably the problem with guys in Vietnam. Well,
Damn 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
No, 13th, 14th, 13th Amendment. Damn amendments.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it. You guys know? Are you familiar with Shane Spencer, a New York Yankee from the World Series years, 1998 to 2001? But he was a Yankee from several years, and then met when he retired. He was at our game the other night, at our gig the other night, and everybody in the band is big Yankee fans, and the people in the crowd are all Yankee fans. So they made a big fuss over him, brought him up on stage, right in the middle, and he, trying to get him to sing a song, taking pictures with everybody, and all this stuff, and he talking to him afterwards. He was talking about how all these old women were like molesting him, and then I'm hearing from the people in our fans saying, "Oh, we kissed my mother goodbye." It's like, no, your mother raped him. That's what happened. People think, "Oh, he was so nice. He was kissing my mother. He's kissing my aunt." No. Here's what happened. Your mother and your aunt were extremely aggressive with him. But I'm not a Yankee.
They're trying to get to third base with the baseball player?
Yeah. That doesn't look like him. That ain't Shane Spencer.
I just put in
Spencer Jones.
Will Spencer. They're all the same, aren't they?
No, they're not all the same. There he is. That's what he looks like. Yeah. Good enough guy, I guess. But
no arms? He doesn't have any arms?
No, he's an armless player. Yeah.
I was gonna say, what position
he looks
was
a little
he?
fat in that one picture up there, like with the red shirt on there. Yeah, he looks a little all the way on. Yeah, that one looks a little heavy.
Looks like he's ready for a bar stool. I mean, a drum stool.
Yeah, he don't look like that now. Anyway, so he was at the gig. People were making a big deal over him. Came up on stage. He did not sing a song, but he was with my friend Richie, who. I say my friend Richie. I don't think he likes me. We don't really get along that well. But he looks like me. He looks like a big version of me. But he's an obnoxious dick. But he's fucking loaded. And I'm like, why do these baseball players want to hang out with Richie? Because he pays for everything. Because anybody who's ever spent any time with him after he's had a few does not want to hang out with him. He's just like, it can be like a really obnoxious dude. Like, why? So. I'm thinking that basically, if you pay for everything, you can get any celebrity to hang out with you, whether or athlete to hang out with you. I'm paying for everything. Come stay at my mansion, and I'll pay for everything this weekend, and we can act like you're my friend.
And that's how people with means remain people with means, because they don't spend their means. Other people spend their means for them.
Right. So do you guys enjoy your weekend? You have a good fun weekend and not feel like an old douchebag like me?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Yeah.
Sat around the house and hung out with the family.
Performing? Shows?
I did on Saturday. I had a show.
How's the crowd?
I have opinions about the show, but overall the show was good. I closed mine out, and it's kind of weird because the decor of the place looked like it was a memorial for like drunk drivers that had died because like cars were split in half and things like that.
Wow.
Do you remember Ted?
we had a similar experience. We got they had off to the side a whole funeral service set up for their dinner theater thing the next night. So we were performing next to a catty corner to a coffin and a memorial picture.
Did you play any Dead? Oh, you don't play. I would have played the Grateful Dead. I would have done GD's favorite song, "Why Do People Die, 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 Die."
But that's not Grateful Dead, though. That's Jim Carroll.
What is this? Wow, this is like a long.
I stopped reading after Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna sell me bots.
Yeah.
I don't have any money for bots. I need to buy a chair. That's what I need to buy. A 500-pound weight limit chair. So I have no money for bots. Anyway.
My wife ordered a treadmill, quote, for us, which I didn't ask for, nor did I want. I have a bike that I ride. But she ordered a treadmill. The treadmill arrived. I put it together. Turns out the box that the treadmill came in was probably filled with earwigs. I have an earwig invasion in my basement.
You got a lawsuit on your hand, man. Come on. Let's call Dewey, Bloom, and Howe.
Yeah, so I've been killing earwigs almost all weekend.
I would flip out. I would lose my fucking mind over that.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed, man. That's gross.
They're in your house now? Or did you open the box outside?
I brought the box in the house and opened it because my wife said, "Bring the box in." You mean help me bring? I said, "No, I got it. I'll bring it in." So, it's never happened before. It's never happened before. I brought boxes in from any,
Of course, if it happened before and you did it again, I would be calling you stupid.
Yeah, it's never happened before, and the reason why it's never happened before is, for the most part, boxes are sprayed with insecticide because they know they sit in cargo ships and stuff like that. So it's usually very toxic,
Yeah. Was it ordered from, like, a company that rhymes with Amazon?
I don't know. I did not ask my wife because
you gotta know who you're suing. That's what it matters for if you're gonna sue somebody, how much they're worth. That matters.
Well,
you want to sue somebody somebody whose name rhymes with Musk? Oh no, you want to actually sue Musk, not somebody whose name, or Bezos. You want to sue one of those guys, or Tim Mellon. You want to sue Tim Mellon, right?
I don't know yet. I'm just really pissed because my house has been insect free, since we got here. Because before we moved in, they had like a hole that was going outside that was not filled, and I filled it, even though it wasn't even our house yet. It was still like for sale. And my wife says, "I want the house." I said, "Okay." And I said, "If we're taking this house, I'm closing this hole up." And the agent says, "You're not allowed to do that." I said, "Believe me, you're an agent. You're going to want me to do this if you're showing this house. Otherwise, mice, birds, snakes are all coming through that hole. So you can thank me later." And so I closed up the hole, and as soon as my wife got the okay, said it's going to be our house, I went in and I fumigated the fuck out of that place.
Yeah. Foul-mouthed teacher said the order is the earwigs from Temu. Now you've ordered from Temu, right? Or Temu? I don't even know how that pronounce.
Temu.
Temu. They say Temu on television.
I know. I don't have a television, so I wouldn't know that.
No wonder you can't pronounce anything.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. But so they offer shit that just sounds too good to be true, and I always think that's got to be a scam. Like, you can't get Gibson Les Paul for $129.
Well, it's a membership thing.
It's just junk. It's just junk. So.
It's a Les Pauline is what you're going to receive.
Yeah, the Chipson. It's not a Gibson. It's a Chipson.
Chipson, yeah.
Yeah.
It actually, technically, you see, you're not reading the whole title. It's Les Paul and more shit. That's what it is. If they showed you the whole title, you would
go. They always want me to sign up for before I can actually look at what the deal is. So.
Yeah. My show on Saturday when I performed, I closed it out, and by the time I got up on stage, and you could just look at the audience and tell they were bored. They had enough of being there, and so I had to climb out of the hole a little bit. But it was rough. I hadn't been in front of an audience like that where their just look was like, "Can you just get us out of here, please, for the love of God?"
What you do, Ron, see, I don't know if I've ever experienced that or not, but what you do is you tell them, if you laugh, as each of you laugh, you can leave. Laugh and leave. That's my policy. And that way they'll laugh, and then they don't want to stay because they're laughing. But you tell them you can.
Now
they laugh and leave policy.
Some of the comics already walked some of the audience members, so why should I do that?
Oh no, but you wouldn't be walking them. They'd be earning their way out by laughing.
Yeah, our show was the opposite. We had an amazing audience. They were super involved, super enjoying it, and then afterwards they hung out for about 45. Well, 3/4 of the crowd hung out for about 45 minutes with all of us comics, buying us drinks and hanging out and all that.
Well, I think the big problem is a lot of the comics were pretty much the same, you know, kind of all
white guys. White guys with big jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot of white guys, but it was the big issue. I thought it was just a lot of the same type of material, comic after comic. So I would not expect an audience to be very excited over that.
Yeah. Well, 10 years ago now, it's 2014. We went to a show at McGuire's, which is part of the Gov thing. And I think there had to be 10 comics on that night, and not one of them got a single laugh. I mean, they were terrible. And we were sitting up front and kept thinking, this next guy's got to have something. And no, nobody was remotely funny at all. Like, not a single laugh in the whole room. It was the worst experience ever in a comedy club. And I was just like, was this just a bad night for these people, or are they all just totally shouldn't be doing it? I mean, we paid, whatever the admission was on the place. It wasn't like it was a special open mic night thing. This was somebody we knew who was performing there. He's now passed away, but it was his show. Not good. Just not. I mean, not to say not good is putting it very mildly. It was almost like poetry open mic without anything rhyming.
They call that free form, don't they?
I think they call that sleeping pill. Really is what it was. But yeah, I remember walking out of there, and all of us, there were 6 people, and we were all looking at it like, what was that? Why did we even do that? Very strange.
And pay to do it too.
Like, we had comics getting laughs. Just the biggest problem, besides a lot of the comics being the same, is that some of the comics just weren't, not a lot of experience, and the way the lineup was set, it was just like an up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you're in an audience, that can be maddening, and just like you just want to kill yourself.
Yeah. Now the good crowd came out though on a Saturday night on Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
We had 75 people.
Well, where I was, it's the beach, so people are coming out and it was a hot, humid night, and where there's an arena that people come into, but there's like a mile of beach, and then there's the parking lot, which is there's a park there where it's sports stuff and all that stuff, and so you get a lot of people who don't, because they don't want to pay the prices inside the arena for drinks and food. They bring a cooler full of food and they park outside, so we have all those freebie people, and then the beach is lined up. There, by my estimation, probably about 4,000 or 5,000 people there. And I'm thinking all the clubs must be empty in that area right now. Nobody's going inside on a night like that. It's just I can't imagine it. So, but you guys have no beaches.
What are you talking about? I got beaches.
You got beaches? Well, what? Baltimore? Not
Maryland. Yeah, Maryland has beaches.
Yeah, Maryland has beaches, but they're not there. You're not right where you are. You have to drive a couple of hours, right?
Oh, same.
3 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
3 hours.
Mine's the same, about 3 hours to Lake Michigan. Yeah.
No, here it's 3 minutes, and that's a long drive. That's what I mean. But you don't have beaches in your backyard. You don't.
I miss when my wife lived in Florida before I moved down. She was where she was staying. She just walked to the beach.
Yeah.
And every day, and I do miss that place because when I was in Florida, I had the smoothest feet because exfoliating every day, just walking on the beach. I didn't. That's the one thing I do miss about being in Florida. Because once we moved back, it took my feet maybe a month before they needed exfoliating, big time. Now I have to always exfoliate my feet, not like when I was living near the beach.
Yeah. Did I miss anything important in the news this weekend? I know
Bill Walton died.
Bill Walton died. Yeah. Now I haven't followed television, haven't really followed sports at all. He was still actively announcing for games or doing color on games. Yes or no?
I don't think he was doing. Not that I'm aware of, but I think what he was doing was still being a presence at UCLA at their games and stuff like that.
Was he sick for a while, or was it a sudden? Did he just croak?
It was cancer, I thought.
I didn't know. That's what I'm asking. I didn't know if he was.
I wrote it down so I wouldn't have to remember. So let's see. I did it. I knew he was 71.
That's all. That's pretty young, especially from where I'm sitting. That's kind of young. Oh, look! Somebody else is trying to sell me views. It must be like a Memorial Day week.
Cancer. It was cancer.
It was cancer.
Yeah.
Where does he rate among NFL, NBA?
So as far as NFL players, he ranks really low.
Probably not very high.
He ranks really low in the
as
NFL.
NBA players, where does he, on the spectrum of? Was he great? Was he?
He's on the spectrum. Definitely on the spectrum. The thing is, now that he's dead, he's a lot greater than he actually was. I mean, he was good. He was a very competent center, but he had to he was the.
Was he as good as Patrick Ewing? Willis Reed? I'm only going by Nick players. The only.
I don't know.
Into that.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I think he was maybe better than Luke Longley, but probably not as good as I can't.
No,
I don't think he was as good as Kareem Olajuwon.
Oh, Kareem Olajuwon was the reason. He was the reason the Knicks did not actually win a championship in 1994.
Yeah,
I just remember the OJ thing breaking into the finals, the Knicks against the Houston Rockets that year, and that was
damn it, OJ.
Yeah. We're breaking away now to watch it, and they had the Bronco in the corner of the championship game.
Oh, see that
they probably showed it on the monitors at the stadium at the arena.
Yeah, very distracting.
I guess the biggest news was Israel attacking that camp over the weekend.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I think if Biden doesn't cut off aid to Israel now, and here's the political issue with that. Once he cuts off aid to Israel, he's going to be labeled an anti-Semite. Right now, he's he's being labeled as pro-Hamas, genocidal Joe, all that kind of stuff. The minute he cuts off aid to Israel, the other side is just going to start calling him anti-Semitic. There's no win here for him. But I think at this point, you got to say, sorry, Benny, because Netanyahu came out and said it was a tragic accident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does anybody believe that? Does anybody
please come on now?
And they're going to investigate.
That's like in Johnny Dangerously, Piscopo shoots a guy. He's like, the gun goes off. He goes, "Oh, sorry, did I get you?" It was kind of like that. Like you don't accidentally blow up a bunch of civilians.
No, not on accident.
Russia blew up a shopping mall in Kharkiv.
Right.
America did 9/11.
Yeah.
No, we were just part of it. That was mainly our allies that did that to us.
That's true, and then we gave them money afterwards. It was good times.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when people got mad because Biden pulled the troops out of Afghanistan, but I mean, you got to set up the sequel to 9/11 somehow. So that's what we're doing.
Hey man, they're in for the long haul. They got this long game planned, and we'll see it unfold. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah. So you know what? We'll see if Biden has the balls to actually pull the trigger on just stopping any money going to Israel, and see if they, because you can't just be going blowing up civilians, man. It's just
Well,
not
while
cool.
this is somewhat related. It's stand-up comedy news, but over the weekend, Dave Chappelle, he performed in Abu Dhabi, and
Abu Dhabi.
yeah, and he called what Israel's doing. He's said they're committing genocide in Gaza, and he was
Right.
performing in the Middle East when he said that.
Is he? Does he expect to make it back home?
Yeah, he'll make it back home. But he said Chappelle, who is Muslim, told the crowd that he believes that the Jewish people support Israel because of the rise in anti-Semitism. Let's see.
Well,
yeah,
There is some of that. Listen,
Yeah.
I know people who can't, lots of people who can't separate the Jewish state from Jewish people. They just
Right.
can't.
yeah.
And a couple of them have been on this show, but one of them is really outspoken about it. And if you criticize Israel in any way, you are labeled a Jew hater. And it's like, you know what? It's not about the religion
can't
or
you
the
hate
culture.
Jews for other reasons other than that? I mean, does that have to be the reason that you are a Jew hater? Can't you hate them for other reasons?
You can if you try hard enough, or if
Okay.
you try at all. You put
Okay.
in
And it's probably not as fun either.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Put
you
your-
know
put your
what?
work
It's a
in.
government. It's not. You know what? This is the problem with states and religions, or cultures, and even it's that it's not. It's not the culture or the religion that is the problem. It's the guy running the Benny Netanyahu is the problem. Benny and his jets. Oh, look at me! I'm like Elton John.
Yeah, and the leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar.
Oh, yeah. What?
Sisterhood.
Yahya Sinwar.
Right.
What'd you call me?
What? What
Sinwar.
Did you say something, Stephen? Or are you, is that my chair squeaking?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, what I have here is like halfway through the set. His set was like wide ranging, and Chappelle initially said that he had been told by his friends either to discuss the war or not. Then from the audience, a woman screamed, "Free Palestine," which caused the crowd to cheer. So.
I thought she was giving away Palestine.
Yeah,
Free
he talks.
Palestine.
They said he couldn't tell racy jokes, and he didn't swear. Huh?
He said he couldn't tell rapey jokes.
He couldn't tell trans.
No
jokes.
racy jokes.
Oh, racy jokes. So,
Yes.
and that's a shame because the Indianapolis 500 was this weekend.
Now, did you see Trump there? Did you see? First of all, they tried to make it. They set him up. He's in the parking lot waving like he's waving to people, and nobody's paying attention to him. But they're just doing this for like a later propaganda stuff, so they can actually film that. Throw in some green screen or something of people waving back to him. Nobody's paying attention to him. Then he's up in the press box and he's waving, and nobody's looking back at him. And he's just sitting there going like this, and nobody even knows he's up in the. They're all watching the race.
For the record, he wasn't in Indy. He was at the Coca-Cola 600. He was at NASCAR.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I see him a race.
You don't put that evil on us.
The cars are still going in a circle, right? Yeah, there we go. We've solved the game.
And then they have footage of him just watching the race, but he's not even watching. You could tell that he's so fucking tortured because there's thousands of people there and nobody's paying attention to him. That's the worst thing for a narcissist, and he doesn't know what the fuck is. Just cars going around. He's just standing there like lost, like, why ain't they loving me? I'm here to get love, especially after last night when I got food and chickens thrown at me.
The picture just looked like someone's grandfather had showed up to some event, And they're like, we're just going to put Grandpa back here so he doesn't bother anybody or start into his racist bits again.
Maybe that's why he went, because he's been called a racist, and he was like, well, then I'll just go to a race.
Yeah, well,
and, it didn't work for him. Hey, 9 minutes ago, the Pope apologized for reportedly using a homophobic slur.
What was the slur?
Well, I'm not going to say the English version.
Does it rhyme with bag?
Swallow.
Yeah, yeah, it rhymes with gag. But he used the Italian version or Spanish version, whichever he is.
Now, see, this is
Fagula.
It's spelled Frociaggine, which translates to a highly offensive slur.
Well, I'm going to get in trouble, of course, but I know more homosexuals than the average heterosexual guy. Being in the hair and beauty industry, let me just say it's dominated by homosexual men. And they call each other that like constantly, but they also like it when heterosexuals call them that if it's licensed. It's like, yeah, they get turned on if you call them.
Well, to be fair, I do have a couple gay friends who regularly not only use the word with each other, but encourage their friends to call them that.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Can we rewind to the part that you said you were dominated by a bunch of gay men?
Yeah, dominated by gay. Yeah,
that explains the squeaky stools.
I'm a sub. I'm a sub with a squeaky stool. Yeah.
I was involved in dinner theater, so I understand what you're talking about, Matt.
Wait a minute. I'm in dinner theater. I'm not exactly in it. I've done it twice. But there is one gay guy in it.
Only one?
No, but see, the dinner theater you're doing is like a mystery dinner theater. I'm talking about dinner theater that was like everything was a musical.
Oh.
Musical dinner theater.
That's super gay.
This is not that. No, we're not doing any singing, or there is a little bit of dancing, but no singing in it. Yeah, but so I did not know that world was also dominated by male homosexuals.
The answer is yes.
There's always a new song in the chamber, as they say.
Well, it's 2024. We can't kink shame you. You know, live your truth, Matt. Live your truth.
Live your best life.
I am just so sick of the word police.
Yeah.
I want to start a thing where I'm offended by the word cheese. Anybody who uses the word cheese, that's offensive to me. And just like call it the C word. But wait, we already have a C word.
But if it's considered a slur, then I think you just kind of, why would you be upset about that? Because if he went out there and called someone the N-word, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be surprised, but it's the same thing. At the same time, you'd be like, well, that's still a slur.
Yeah. Well, cheese is, a very Italian thing. So it could be a slur. I could take it as a slur. What kind of cheese? Mozzarella cheese? What are we talking about? Grated Parmesan cheese?
Cheese?
Daniel Tosh, right? That's the comedian's name, Daniel Tosh?
Yeah.
Okay. He on his show, he did a bit called
racist by the word Tosh, by the way.
Racist or non-racist or something like that. And so he had a bunch of people at a round table conversation, and he had different people, all walks of life. He made sure that each oppressed group was represented. He had women, men, blacks, gays, Jews, whatever, Muslims, and he would like say something, like he would say, potato salad, is that racist or whatever? Is that offensive? And he would literally just grab innocuous things, and they would find reasons why that word was offensive. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, well, I think I'm serious. We should start a petition or something just to kind of just take some absurd word and see if we can get people to gravitate to. We can't say that word, right?
Osteoporosis.
Last night I was watching a open mic online. I was checking out Plausible, Leanne Linsky's thing.
Yeah.
I was checking that out because I'm going to do a couple of shows on this. I wanted to see what I wanted to get a feel for.
I'm glad you're setting up why you were watching it. Continue.
Okay, so I was watching it, and this one guy does this routine, and when he is done, they still had some time left over. You know, they were still had like 10 minutes left over, and so Leanne was talking, and then somebody started to chant because they wanted me to do some routines. You know, like trying to get me up there. I said, no, I'm not. I just came to watch. You know,
no, I'm not doing it.
Right. So no, I just came to watch. And so one guy said something, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he used the phrase, something, my words, blah, 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 blah. You know, he goes, some my words, da, 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 da. And so I looked at him and I said, really? Are they your words? Because I'm pretty sure I've heard other people use those words. So are you just claiming words to be yours that aren't yours? Are you
maybe he's trying to get a royalty fee out of it?
Right. So that's what I said something, and he got really pissed at me. And he goes, first of all, I've never stolen a joke from anybody. And so I started laughing because that is not even close to what I said. And so I started laughing at him, and then he gets madder and he starts to go like, these are my words and blah blah blah. And he really misunderstood what I had said, and so I explained it to him. I said, "No, this is what I said. You said this, and so I said this in response." And he kept getting mad and saying, "I just don't like that. You're accusing me of stealing jokes." And so Leanne, I start laughing, and Leanne trying to explain it to him, and she explains it to him. And he still would not accept the explanation. He was still angry. And so I just kept laughing, and I kept saying, well, see, the joke is much funnier after you explain it for 4 minutes. So
he got GD'd. That's all you had to say about that. He got GD'd. I mean, you're a very easy person to get extremely angry at. We've all experienced that from time to time. So I want to get his side of the story, though. Let's get this guy on the show. I want to hear his side of exactly how that went down.
If I can remember his name, first of all, he's not very interesting to listen to. So
we would end up giving him the bomb and throwing him out anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get news done, and so I can go get coffee and get off my stool, and my ass will be better.
A massive fire erupted on Saturday at an amusement park in Gujarat State in western India, resulting in the tragic deaths of at least 22 individuals, including several children, according to police reports.
The fire broke out at the park located in the city of Rajkot in Gujarat State. Police Commissioner Raju Bhargava confirmed that the blaze was brought under control and a rescue operation was underway. Police officer Vinayak Patel corroborated the death toll of 22 people in the fire incident. The New Delhi television news channel reported a higher death toll of 27. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A U.S. soldier stationed at the Gaza Pier platform sustained critical injuries and was evacuated to Israel, along with 2 others who were injured in incidents that a military official described as non-combat related.
The pier, anchored to the beach in Gaza, has been operational for about a week, facilitating the delivery of humanitarian food and supplies into the war-torn area via sea. Vice ADM Brad Cooper, the deputy commander of U.S. Central Command, declined to comment on the most severe injury. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
The European Union and NATO have condemned Russia's removal of buoys along a waterway demarcating its international border with Estonia.
On Thursday, Russian border guards removed 24 of the 50 buoys placed by Estonia on the 48-mile river, marking sailing routes along the international boundary with Russia. Such actions are unacceptable. The European Union expects an explanation from Russia concerning the removal of the buoys and their immediate return, stated EU High Representative Joseph Borrell in a statement. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Former President Donald Trump addressed the 2024 Libertarian National Convention on Saturday in an endeavor to sway undecided voters.
Angela McArdle, the chairperson of the Libertarian Party, stated that Trump promptly accepted the party's invitation to deliver a speech at the convention. The party also extended an invitation to President Biden, but received no response. Trump's outreach to the Libertarian Party comes after weeks of intensified criticisms directed at independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Liam White reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has returned home following his non-surgical medical procedure on Friday and has since resumed his duties, said Major General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon's top spokesman.
Austin underwent the 2.5-hour procedure at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, during which his authorities were temporarily transferred to Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks. He is now back home and continued with his official schedule, which included events on Monday for Memorial Day, Ryder said. Kyle Norris reporting.
Highway bandits in Mexico made off with over 40 tons of avocados, according to federal prosecutors.
The Attorney General's office stated that the avocados were stolen in 2 separate robberies in the western state of Michoacan, Mexico's main producer of the fruit. In both cases, armed men stopped freight trucks carrying approximately 20 tons each and stole the shipments. Avocados are typically shipped in crates, which would facilitate a quicker and easier transfer of the load. Paul Gomez reporting.
An illegal gold mine collapsed in northern Kenya, leaving at least 5 miners dead, according to police reports.
The collapse of the Hilo mine in the Dabal area near the Kenyan border with Ethiopia was attributed to a landslide. Marsabit County Police Commander Patrick Mwakio stated that the miners died on the spot after being covered by debris. No other miners have been found, and it remains unclear if anyone else is missing following the collapse.
And that's why children should not work in the
New Mexico
mines.
judge denied Alec Baldwin's motion to dismiss his involuntary manslaughter charge stemming from the 2021 fatal shooting on the set of Rust in an official order.
Judge Mary Marlowe Summer determined that the prosecutors did not act in bad faith in securing a grand jury indictment, as alleged in the motion. Baldwin's trial is scheduled to commence in July. The actor was practicing a cross draw in a church on the set of the Western film when the Colt revolver discharged a live round. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
A Colt revolver, not a Colt. Now, I thought we discussed this maybe in showbiz news at some point. I thought he was the prop guy was convicted of that, or a woman was convicted of that, and so Alex Baldwin was off. But apparently, I was wrong about that. He might go to jail for manslaughter.
I thought they already had a trial. I honestly thought they already had a trial
for the prop dude, not for him. But I thought that they decided to charge. You can't charge 2 people with the same crime. Or maybe you can. I don't know.
You can. Sure you can. They're just different aspects of the same crime.
Well, why does his come later?
Because they may not be the exact same crime either. His may be, let's say, involuntary manslaughter, and other guys may have been reckless endangerment or something.
Right,
And please, hey guys, please send me your address so I can get you out some avocados that I just freshly picked.
From your yard?
Yeah.
Now, how do you move hot avocados? Now because you got to make this pay, you have to sell them somewhere. How do you fence them? Is there like a local fence you can bring your avocados?
An underground avocado market like Chipotle?
More than likely, it was probably another cartel because a lot of the cartels they diversified into avocados because they need a legal business.
Now they've gone too far, this. Guys getting hit over the big avocado.
I can see some avocado godfather. Somebody going to the avocado godfather saying, "I need a favor from you, godfather. Somebody whacked it, stole our avocados. You come to me on the day."
Oh, so you did see the movie. You say you never saw the movie. Now
I didn't, but I know the line very well.
He knows that scene, though.
If you had come to me as in friendship, then the men who had done this to your daughter, they would fear you.
But you come to me on the day of my Chipotle anniversary, asking me for a favor.
Now, avocados are poison to everybody but every animal except humans. Did you know that? That was a trivia thing just on Friday, and I'm thinking these Mexican guys heard that, and now they plan on using it as like a get rid of wild dogs or something. We'll just solely avocados to get rid of all the feral animals.
Maybe they were just trying to save the animals.
No, the poison. Avocados are poison to them, so they're going to feed them to them. Oh, you're saying so they can't eat them? They weren't going to eat them anyway. They were going to market.
No, they're getting rid of them so they can't be poisoning the dogs and everything. That's how they protect their stuff.
All right. Now, are you guys big avocado eaters? I mean,
yes. I live in Hispanic avocados. Maybe if they're mushed. What's that stuff that you make with it? Was it guacamole?
Guacamole, yeah.
Yeah,
my
I
wife
do
and
like guac. I
mother-in-law
do like good guac.
Middle-aged white women are livid. Now, where will they go to get their guacamole? Guacamole.
Well, I think the price is going to go up. You know, if they keep stealing these things, it's going to just make it because they're already expensive. They were already expensive.
They're gonna have to switch to hummus for a little while.
Was this part of a concerted effort to price gouge the avocado market?
So
I think it's a California thing, right? Because I think they're the only, maybe California and Texas. The one thing they have in common is they love avocados.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, I would expect any place to. Well,
never had avocado toast. No, I don't know. I don't know. If I could come back to my chair thing here, it's kind of comical.
At first, it just looks like your underwear just aren't fitting right when you do that. Just like it's like you're trying to.
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Working out a work. Oh, that's going commando. Let's go.
So my first instinct, rather than to go buy an expensive chair online, was to go to Facebook Marketplace. And there were lots of people with computer chairs on Facebook Marketplace, were local to me. And I contacted every single one of them. And one girl got back to me immediately. She said, it was basically, I said, is it available? She said, yeah. Can I come to get it today? Sure. Okay, what time is good? Didn't hear from her for like 8 hours. 8 hours later, she says, oh, sorry, I just saw this. I've been working all day. Okay, can I come now? No, I'm still working. I'm like, when can I come? She said, I'll call home and see if I can get somebody to put it outside. You can leave the money somewhere outside. Like, oh, you're going to trust me just to come and get the chair and leave money outside somewhere. Then when you get home, you're going to say, oh, the money wasn't there. Like somebody else took it and I have no.
And then you can say, but I didn't pick up the chair. That's why there was no money.
Right. So then she sent me a picture of the chair. Do you want it? And the chair looks good in the picture. So I said, yeah. And it was only $10. I should have known right away that it was only $10. It can't be a good chair. But then I said, well, I need directions on how to get there. She said, well, when are you coming? I said, will you come now? I said, yeah, I'll come now. I need directions though. And then she stopped talking to me. It's like, did you think I was just going to drive to Sound Beach, Long Island, New York, and just drive around and look for a chair on a porch somewhere and just go take it? I mean, she didn't want to give me her address. So I said,
maybe she was just going to do it like a hostage thing where you call her and you say, okay, I'm at the corner of so-and-so. She, okay, now turn left. And it says she won't give you the address. She just gives you turn-by-turn directions.
I put a bag over my head while I'm driving.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, my wife said, you know what? A lot of women could feel a little skittish about having a man come to their house. So I said, yeah, you're right. And so I said, this is on Facebook now. I said, here's my text, and you can look me up. My name is Matt Napo, and you can look me up. Here's my address, my phone number, and all this stuff. And she comes back, you just wasted my time. I'm not interested in text messaging or calling somebody. I was like, I'm not looking for a date. I need a fucking chair. I said, my wife told me to send you this so that you would feel more comfortable.
It just made her feel creepier. Speaking of creepy, did you get your money back from the people who stole it out of your account?
No, I did not get the money back, but there's a hold on all of it. So the bank is going to be investigating. I'm going to get the money back.
That's good. That's good.
I have a feeling I know what happened. I think the problem is me. But that's a whole.
Well, the problem usually is you, but I'm just wondering if you got the money back. That's all I'm concerned about.
I didn't get the money back yet, but I'm expecting to get the money back. It's pending.
I'm thinking you probably just gave your password out online. Just straight out.
No, I actually clicked some wrong buttons to pay off a loan I had, which in full. Which no, I didn't intend to pay off a a huge loan in full. I was still making payments. But I didn't hit the single payment amount. I made pay in full, which is several tens of thousands of dollars. And
there's a message from the bank right here. It says they're going to give you just views and followers instead of money.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Memorial Day and conservatives, because I always like to point out how much the conservatives love the military, but over the weekend, the governor of Virginia, Governor Youngkin, they changed benefits to the military's program. So now, if you're in the budget making changes to a program known as Virginia Military Survivors Dependents Education Program, which helps the kids of qualified disabled military veterans go to college. They canceled that program, put those disabled vets and their kids get out of here. And so now vets that are disabled and stuff are scrambling now to pay for some of their kids' college.
Yeah.
Can they return their kids now? Because some people only had the kids because they were going to be cheap to educate, but without that money, the kids could become expensive. Can they return the kids?
And nope. What I love about this story, though, is that conservatives are always, they want to take the loads of military to the face and down their throats, but they never want to actually help the veterans.
Yeah, this is like the first. They've done this to the military time and time again. I mean, over and over again.
Oh yeah, it's common. I mean, we have it here. Scott Perry always claims to love the military because he was in the military, but he's been swallowing so many loads for defense contractors and Trump. He doesn't care about veterans.
No, the sexual innuendo there. I don't know.
I didn't pick that up. I didn't
swallow the loads. You didn't. Oh
no, I thought he was talking about the munitions. That's what I thought he was talking about.
No wonder the guy on Leanna Linsky's show wants you dead. I can understand that. Where was I going with? Oh, they played the Trump clip all weekend of him saying he always wanted a Purple Heart. That is the dopiest fucking thing to ever do. Most of the people who have Purple Hearts never really wanted a Purple Heart. They didn't. Yeah. But you know what? Maybe if you didn't claim the bone spurs, you might have actually had a chance to get a Purple Heart. And I think America would be.
I think what he wants is, I think he wants one of the veterans that support him to give him their Purple Heart.
Yeah.
He has a Purple Heart, and
well,
that
just doesn't understand what it actually signifies. Because it's like I always wish I would have got shot in the ass.
Or maybe he's thinking like a blue blood is like royalty, so purple must really be good. So
it's bizarre. But yeah, to Ron's point, I mean the hypocrisy of the current conservative movement is just bizarre and off the charts. When Andy Andrus, good friend who's been on this program many times, the 500th episode was a big. He was on the first and the 500th, and there were several in between there. He was doing a show on HBO show, a Jim Norton show. He's on HBO and big theater thing. And one of his lines was, "How many people support the troops?" And the fucking place went nuts. And exactly what do you fucking do? Absolutely fucking nothing. He's just, it got ugly then. He's like, you know what? You talk about supporting the troops, but what exactly do you do for the troops? Are you actually doing anything for them, or just you just like to shout that? And it did not go well. But it's a beautiful thing to watch as he kind of. It's like the fucking Special Olympics. You know what you talk? Yeah, you're all about these people. How many people are bringing fucking special people to your show? You bring them here to the show with you? No, I don't want anything to do with them. I just like to fucking talk about it. Yeah, that's all you do is talk.
There was a local comedian, and he used to do this bit about his brother's in the military. So if he'd mention his brother, people would just say to him, thank you for his service. And it's like, you're thanking me for my brother's service. And so it was, he said, so he said he eventually would just start collecting names of the people that said thank you for their service so he can give his brother the list next time he saw him. So these are the people who are thanking you for your service. If you could just,
send them a you're welcome card. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just reminds me of like this one show I was doing, and there's one of the comics up on stage, and this guy at the bar is like, I don't like that he's making fun of the military, and he was a veteran of the military.
Mm.
And it's like, a guy like that, he's not worth talking to, because if you take things that literally.
Comedians who are veterans on the show, and that's almost all of them include making fun of the military in their presentation. Most of them, I think, at least a great deal of them do. So
yeah, because it's like anything. It's a government organization, and it's ran. There are so many stupid things about how it's ran. Like my brother-in-law, he's like career military. He's been in like career guard. And he's retiring soon, but he he told us a story once where they had to take someone's gun from them because they were considered mentally unfit to have a gun, but yet they were allowed to have a knife. So they let them keep the knife, but not the gun. How fucking stupid is that? I mean,
wow. Yeah, no, but you can also fly a helicopter with all kind of arms and stuff on it. You just can't have a gun.
Yeah, you can sit behind this turret with your finger on the trigger, but you cannot have a gun.
Yeah. Turret.
Turret.
Is that like Tourette? I call it Tourette's.
Yes. Yes. The turrets on a tank, the turrets, yeah.
Right.
So it goes, it just turns, it goes like.
Yeah, if you're gonna fire it, you got to use this stick to pull the trigger back. So you're technically the stick is firing the gun.
Yeah. Sorry to come back to this. So basically, I got to the woman's house with the chair, and it's got no base on it. It's got a swivel on it, but it sits on the floor. It's like I would be, my head wouldn't even be at the desk if I was using it. But I felt bad that I went there, so I took it and I left it at $10 anyway. And then everybody else started calling me, like the people I contacted. Are you coming now? You didn't give me an address. Like, how am I supposed to know where to just go? It doesn't. They don't put the address on Facebook and it's a good thing that they don't. But I mean. All these fucking idiots. So Facebook Marketplace is just a bunch of fucking stupid people trying to sell useless trash that they don't need anymore, and just
Mm-hmm.
But
that's pretty much what it is.
If you really want to sell something, you gotta, you don't wait 24 hours to get back to somebody if they say, is it still available? And then when they ask for your address, wait another 9 hours before you actually say, oh, are you coming now?
At least with Craigslist, you got people responding regularly. Used to.
Nate does a bit on that about his wife selling a child step stool for $5. He said, best case scenario is we get $5. Worst case scenario, our entire family is murdered.
Well, instead of a step stool, he should have got his own. He should have made his own stool.
Yeah, dealing with strangers online. I mean, is it worth it? So, most people, let's meet in a public place for a chair. But
Now,
for $10.
I've given away stuff like, especially after like during the spring when I've done all my gardening, I'll have all the little plastic pots that the plants came in. I have them because and I'll offer them up. I'll put on post. I'll post if anybody want these these empty plant pots,
pot plants,
right? And they don't want me to come to the neighborhood, but they'll say, put them outside your house, we'll come get them. That's okay, fine. That's even better.
Well, the problem would not be for me having you come into my neighborhood. It would be for you coming into my neighborhood. I'd be worried that you'd get shot.
Yeah, I understand. I have friends who live in neighborhoods like that. One of my friends, we still talk about the time that I went to his house and he lived he had a very, very long communal driveway. It's like 3/4 of a mile, and there was like maybe 3 houses off of it. And I went to the wrong driveway, and it was get to the driveway.
A brief history. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That guy.
So I go to the driveway, and I realize I'm at the wrong house, and I start to turn around, and this guy runs out with a gun, and he says, "What are you doing in my yard?" I said, "Actually, I'm trying to get to that house there. I missed the turn. I'm just turning around to leave." He goes, I said, "My friend lives up there." He goes, "You don't have any friends around here, boy." And yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about Ron's browser history.
Ron's browser history would probably get him locked up if they got into it.
No.
Actually, I think that's his wife's browser history. She's into that fantasy bear and werewolf novels.
Hey, you should see the shit that comes up on my Instagram feed. It's it's
yeah, because once you start looking at that, you're going to start seeing ads based on that, like lube or whatever. You're just going to see all sorts of ads that are based on your browser history. It's going to be like, oh, look, Ron.
Yeah, I don't even let my wife accidentally see my phone, because I'll research things for comedy. And next thing I start getting all of these ads for stuff, and then my wife will go like she's already concerned. My wife is already concerned with how many dildos I own now.
I'd be a little concerned too.
I'm a little concerned as well, GD. I'm not going to lie about that. It's concerning.
Now, how many? You say how many? Isn't one enough?
Can I take a guess?
You can, but I don't know the number. I honestly don't know the number. You can nail it.
I think you're going to guess as to why more than one is necessary.
Because they have different purposes.
Oh, some of those might be.
No, they don't. There's only one purpose.
Okay, for example, I'll show you one. Now, Ron is already aware of it.
Now, what is that? What is that double thing?
Okay, that guy does not need that. That's not a thing he needs. This is how you get loose stools.
Is there a guy that actually has 2 dicks like that? And
now,
why is one so much bigger than the other?
This is for a game called this is for a game called Pussy Putts Putts.
Oh, okay.
Pussy Putts Putts. See?
Yeah, right.
And you have to
does that count as 1 or 2 dildos?
Yeah, so you have the balls that you're trying to put the ball into the hole.
B.
Yes, you're trying to put the ball into the hole. So this is one of the games.
That's what you tell people is the purpose of it, but the real purpose, no. That would be so cool. Now we ought to do this. We ought to go out to a mini golf thing with GD's little dildo putter.
I would absolutely publish it 100%. I would do it, no question.
Yeah, you go there and say we have our own clubs.
I'll even take it to a driving range. Let's go.
That looks exactly the same. What is the difference there?
No, this is the same one. I just pulled it out so people have a reference.
Oh,
I just whipped it out real quick.
Now you keep it in the bag. Why do you keep it in the bag? Are you worried about? I don't know. Why you're worried about it collecting dust? What's the purpose of the bag?
Well, it came in plastic, and I don't know if it dries out. I honestly I'm not familiar enough with dildos in the long run.
So you're a connoisseur of dildos, but you don't know how to take care of them? Come on, man.
I'm learning.
So I had a roommate once.
Once,
yeah. And I had a dog. My cousin couldn't take care of this dog, and I adopted the dog. It was like 2 years old. She was, but it was a very poorly tamed dog. And I went to work one day, and the dog had gotten into the roommate's closet and tore apart the gym bag that my roommate had, that had like dildos and all sorts of lingerie that he stole from different women. Women would come in, oh, that's where my bra went. But he had like 4 or 5 dildos in there. It's like, what do you need more than one for? I mean, all right, dildos your thing. You like shoving things in cavities, but what's with the oh, this is my Wednesday one, this is my Thursday one. What the fuck? One should do it. That's all I'm saying. Don't like dildo or don't yeah.
Dildo or dill didn't.
What is that? That X-ray of a
Hey, how
bag
about we
going?
just don't look at these right now?
Now Stanhope, when he was traveling, packed his bag full
God.
of dildos for the TSA to people to open it up. He would do it on purpose, like pack a suitcase just full of dildos for them to analyze at the line for TSA, just
Nice
to freak out
cocktail.
everybody. I think that was a cool thing. What's with the cock? I mean the parrot.
He's stroking his cockatiel on camera. This ain't OnlyFans.
That's a
Why do
macaw.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were saying macaque. That's a monkey.
Why are you showing us that?
No, he was
Fake bird.
He fell. I had to
He's
put
a
him back
fake
in his
bird.
nest.
He
It's not
fell?
fake. He doesn't mean that. He does not mean that. He's just mean. He's jealous. Don't listen
You're
to
a
him.
dick.
It fell. I have to put him back up. It's okay. What? Come on.
It's a guard pair. It's what protects his dildos.
Yes.
There we go.
All right.
That's a hat?
It's a
Is that a hat
Viking
or-
thing. Yeah.
Yep. Or this one.
I like the Viking helmet.
Bizarre. I can't believe I am so naive as to what people are into. I
Listen,
did
if you
not know
can think
better
of
than
it, there's probably not only a market for it, but there's probably already like product available. Yeah.
right. So yeah, I guess there is a whole, I don't know, kind of niche dildo, different genres of dildo-ness that I was not aware of. So I guess it's
They get weird too, man. There's some that are like tentacles and dragon parts
push me,
and
pull you.
That's the double dildo.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Tracy's dog, I haven't pushed them in a while. I guess that would be a good place to
good segue.
I'm your teacher, and I find you attractive.
okay. Was it the dildos?
Is that a dildo, or are you just happy to see me? Oh, okay.
You know, I want to do a short on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Why don't you wait till October?
Yeah, you know what? Had a good ideas for the shorts that will attract people. But they are definitely. I didn't do much this weekend, but got lots and lots of new traffic on YouTube because of old shorts. Now, what happened is YouTube decided to start pushing some of my old content because I had been so much out, so I didn't have to do stuff from like Thursday until last night. I didn't put any new stuff out, so I mean, I like YouTube's taking pity on me, which is a good thing. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys got anything observances or show business? Probably no show business.
I got
right?
showbiz news.
Do you have observances, Stephen, or no? You got none.
do.
You didn't
I do.
observe anything. You're unobservant.
I'm observing it all. And
Okay.
actually, since we're talking about it, today's a meat heavy day. So today is National Brisket Day. So for those of you, that like your smoked meats, National Hamburger Day. So have it your way.
Yesterday was National Hamburger Day. I'm sorry.
This says May 28th.
All right.
Abolition Day in St. Martin. Amnesty International Day.
What's it got to do with meat?
That's followed by International.
Is that the day you pardon cows so they don't get slaughtered like the turkeys at Thanksgiving?
Something along those lines. National Day of Ethiopia.
They have no meat. They're starving.
That's true. National Flag Day of Philippines.
Wow.
And then rounded out with National Jake Day. So for you Jakes out there.
Now, how do we apply for a new day? How do we create? How is it created? Where do you start? If I want to
it's also World Hunger Day. Sorry, following all the meat.
All right.
Oh, great! If they had just took the meat and moved it, they wouldn't be hungry.
True.
Right.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong.
Yeah, no.
There's no video of Trump sucking a ding
That's a lot
dong.
better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Didn't you already tell Der Spiegel that?
No, the son of a bitch walked.
I don't know.
That's son of a bitch.
There's no video of Trump sucking a ding dong.
It's all right, Alex.
It's
all right, Alex. You can come out. It's okay if you want to be by Alex Jones.
I'm not in the closet. I'm in the bomb shelter.
It's okay. You can come out. We know you've swallowed probably at least 3 or 4 loads, and you're like, it's all right.
Frog dicks, the gay ones.
There's no video of lots of things that are really happening. So just because there's no video doesn't mean.
He did, and he was very careful with his words. So there could be still pictures or slides, GAF viewfinders.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So so maybe in showbiz news we might have a little bit of
video of Donald Trump sucking dick.
Exactly.
Sucking a ding dong.
Or at least. We got. Oh my God.
Hey, turn those off. I sent those to you in confidence.
Yeah. Alex Jones in that same clip claimed to have slept with over 300 women. I've never had a man in my bed, but I've had like 300 women in my bed. Yeah, like, come on.
Some of them were dicks with, some of them were dicks with chicks.
Some of them were chicks with dicks, and some of them were dudes with tits. It's fine.
They're all from Canada.
That's disgusting. American only.
You know what time it is?
Showbiz.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane.
I've never been to West.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Showbiz.
It's Showbiz.
Showbiz, everybody. Let's go. It's Tuesday, December 5th, 2014. So this weekend, there were a bunch of movies that opened, and no one did great. The Mad Max movie, Furioso, only made $26.3 million, and only making like $32 million over the weekend. Then the second place movie was Garfield, and that only made $24 million.
Is that a movie or a cartoon?
Both.
Yeah. So the movie business is taking a hit this year. Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend. Come on, who's going to the movies?
No,
it didn't rain.
A few years ago, this is a huge weekend, but not anymore. People are tired of the superhero movies, and if you really think about it, Mad Max, that's just another sequel. The Garfield movie, that's just another sequel.
Well, Mad Max is a prequel. Let's be fair. It's a prequel.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a prequel to the prequel, isn't it? It's a prequel to a sequel.
It's
something like that. Yeah, then the Planet of the Apes is still hanging around, and that's only made $126 million. So that's kind of where
when you say made, is that profit or no? That's just taken in
sales. That's just net sales, right?
That's just what they're taking in.
Gross sales.
Yeah, is $126 million, but that doesn't. Because that doesn't count marketing and all that shit. So, but
on the bright side, they don't have to pay real actors, right? They just have to pay the AI monkeys. Animals.
But the real winner here is that movie, The Strangers Chapter 1, because that's still in the top 10, and it's made like $22 million, and that's good because that's a horror movie. It was made on the cheap, so maybe we're gonna finally get back to fucking movies where there's more stories and not more of this recycled crap of another sequel.
Last year, though, wasn't last year's when they released Oppenheimer and Barbie over the Memorial Day holiday?
They did?
Was that over Memorial Day?
July. That was like July that came out.
So it was a summer blockbuster, but not Memorial Day.
Yeah, and that
You know
was
what?
a little different. Like that did okay.
I think by the time, this is the way it goes. Thinking people out here love to be outdoors, but by July it's so fucking hot and you're sick of the summer already. Then it's time to go back to the movie. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I honestly, I really think that the overall issue, there's nothing really exciting for people to really go out to the movies to see. I mean, are you going to
Funny,
drag
somebody
your
on
kids to go see
Twitter.
another Garfield movie and spend?
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
I'm-
But people, the person on Twitter said the problem is that people know that they're going to release it to streaming services in a couple of weeks. Why bother going to the movies? I always felt like that's probably there's some truth to that, and the incentive is taken away. If you know you're going to get it for free, and everybody has these home theaters now, big screens in the house. It does. A lot of people will say, "I'll just wait 3 weeks," but
then what they need to do, is to have the theatrical version be, longer or better than the streaming version, so that people want to go out. Like maybe 16 more. Like if it's let's say John Wick 6 comes out, when it goes to the theater, have like 400 people decapitated, and when it gets to the streaming service, you only do like 350.
Well, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot all the way around, because one, it used to be a year and a half for a movie would come home to be able to watch it on tape or DVD, and now you have just weeks or maybe a couple months. Two, every time it comes out on streaming, you get director's cuts, extended versions, you get a better quality movie. Like why?
Right. That's what I'm saying. They need to reverse it. They need to put the better version out in theaters and then put the subpar version on streaming services. That's how you get them out there.
Yeah. Well, to Ron's point too, I think it's a mixture of.
Wait a minute, Ron made a point.
Yeah, of it being like uninspiring movies that are just like rehashes and remakes and stuff that people are sick of. There's that, and the other part of it is that, you know what, I'm going to watch it. I'm already paying for it eventually anyway. I'm already paying the fee to Netflix or whatever streaming service is coming on. So why not just wait? It's a combination of both. But we're in a place where culture is suffering a lot from this
staleness,
lack of originality.
Yeah. I think we're actually going to start. I think we're going to start seeing more and more horror movies. I think it's going to be like that, because horror movies are cheap to produce, and that's it. It's a simple business.
I hate scary movies,
and especially since now and the other issue is that all the entertainment companies have fucking merged together. So now there's only like two. Like Disney as a company owns 60% of the box office.
Right. Good segue to afterward. Well, maybe after showbiz, because I wanted to talk about something that relates to that in a big way. I guess we'll save that.
Well, to Ron's point, my wife and I have just bought the movie rights to Detachable Penis, that song, and we're making that into a horror movie.
I'd pay to see that. I swear to God, Randy, I'll play to your face.
All right, then moving on. So this weekend, Richard Dreyfuss was talking about the movie Jaws. He was talking about Jaws, and he made
so wait a minute. In the movie Jaws, it goes da 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 da.
No, we're gonna need a bigger synagogue.
But he went on, and he was at a screening. People paid $300, and he went on and he disparaged women in film, the Me Too movement, and hated the gays and gay rights. So he went full bore. They brought him in as like, hey, look, Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws. There's going to be a Q&A. And he went fucking nuts.
And he wears his glasses at the end of his nose during the whole thing. And he's looking at the people like this. Like, what are your glasses even there for? Like, what do you got money? Drives me crazy.
He's in some hot water. The theater that was hosting the event, they've released an apology letter. But this is just like another case of one of these old actor guys. And I guess maybe because they get upset because they can't be on the internet and just espousing everything they want to. So they get hired for these events, and like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it all rip tonight.
So weird because he came from the same gene pool as a lot of liberal, like Rob Reiner was his best friend growing up. Like he came from that liberal, very liberal background. But I think what happens when you get to a certain age and the dementia starts kicking in, you automatically have to become, it's by law, you have to become an extreme bigot.
My mother, who was probably one of the most, my mother was probably one of the most liberal people that I know. I mean, she was for equal rights and respect for everyone. And by the time that she got into her 80s and the filter broke.
Yeah.
And and you find that people that are really super progressive tend to be racist too, as much as the conservatives that are really far right. It's like those two, they're almost together. Except the progressives, the racism's a little different. They just won't throw it in your face. They just it's a strange fucking time.
Well, I think what started it was the night before that. Somebody was talking to him. He was doing an interview, and the woman asked him about the Academy Awards forcing inclusion and equity on so that people of different races, different gender, or sexuality preferences, all that stuff need to be included. And he was angry about that. He's like, "This is art, and you can't tell me that we have to kind of force all this stuff into art. The best film or the best actor should win, not because it includes all that stuff." I think he had a good point in that. It's just that anger triggered his next day's rant to a point where it just got way out of hand.
Well, his point's not completely off base. I mean, if you look at the performance of movie.
Sorry, I was meant to delete that, and it just go ahead. I'm sorry. Delete video is what I wanted to do. Go ahead.
But if you look at the movies that push the inclusion of just certain things just because they have to do it, the quality suffers. You get these actors that just aren't good at what they're doing, but they're included because they're black or gay or disabled or they're a midget. And it's like, okay, cool. Thanks for including everyone. But where's the talent? Where's the quality? Where's the thing I want to take part in, not complain about because it sucks.
Yeah, and I agree with some of that. But then the other flip side of the coin, it also goes the other way. When you have a movie that wants to be they're like, I want to be so manly and this is going to happen. Then you get a movie that's very gay, like the Expendables series. I mean, that is
like wrestling is extremely gay.
Right.
Well, homoerotic is the best word.
I would say it's by touching it best, but okay.
Yeah,
I will get a flaming gay guy on here to back me up, and I say back me up.
I bet you wanted to back you up.
Where are you gonna find a flaming gay guy?
I got him. I got a closet full of them.
He's got a closet full, exactly.
Well, while we're still on movie news, in case you guys are looking for a new house, the Home Alone house is up for sale. It has been listed.
Homo Loan.
Yep, it's been listed on Zillow.
They're making another one.
No, it's been listed on Zillow, and the current asking price is $5.25 million, and it's a 9,000 square foot house.
When they made Home Alone, the house, they only used the outside of the house, right? The inside was
soundstage.
Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't use the actual inside of that house because it was too nice, and they were going to be busting shit up.
No, but they probably took pictures and made a replica of it, essentially.
Yeah. So they never used the inside of that house. They used the outside of that house. Why would it sell that much for the outside? That's stupid. They should buy the
part of movie history.
When you buy it, do they include all the booby traps?
Nope. Just a dead Coley McCalkin in the basement. Maybe he's locked up in the basement. Let me out of here, goddammit.
I heard the ghost of Michael
Jackson. He's older than me now, right? He's older than me. He passed me in age somehow, right? He's 70 now.
Yeah, he's 84 now, and I don't know why.
I don't know how that happened either.
And the last bit of news I got here, this is stand-up comedy news related. There is an AI-themed comedy special out now, and it's done by comedian Connor O'Malley, and it's called Stand Up Solutions. And so he uses comedy, but then he uses AI created comedy. So it's a whole thing. And so if you're interested in that, that guy is out there. I don't know. I'd have to see some of the act to have a good opinion on it.
Wow.
I know I was upset because I wanted to do an animated version of one of my stand-up sets, and then turns out that Tig Notaro had been working on hers and released it already. I'm like, fuck! And I said to my wife and I watched it. It was actually pretty decent, but it was just that's what happens. You have the vision but don't have the money or the technology to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Somebody else comes along and does it.
I had a talk with my grandson yesterday. Who he goes to a high school that is for technical stuff, vocational stuff, and video editing, arts, and all that stuff. And I asked him if are they doing anything with AI, and he hasn't touched it. That to me seems to be a big mistake for kids in school right now, especially who are doing like art stuff, video editing and creation and animation and all that stuff. They're not using AI. They're not getting these kids even their feet wet a little bit in this stuff. They're going to get out of school and find out that the world has passed them by. You don't have the skills to compete in the world.
What grade is he in?
He's 8th grade.
Oh, he's got time. I mean, honestly, I believe I would prefer that they actually learn to do the craft the right way without the AI, and then
they've already done that though. He's been using like Adobe Premiere to a proficient skill level for 2 or 3 years.
I mean, even fuck that. I mean, I want them to edit with like celluloid, with the cutting and the gluing and the taping. I want them to learn it the right way, like I had to.
That'll never happen again.
Well, the thing with this show called Stand Up Solutions, it was recorded live at Brooklyn's Bell House in October of 23, and yeah, it's as revolutionary as each tech advancement of the past 9 months might have appeared. They all fit neatly within.
I gotta see it, but the Bell House is not a fun place to go see comedy. I've been there.
Yeah, so essentially, this is a slideshow, and it's presented like a investment presentation and the AI comedy product demo. So it's meant to introduce and acclimate viewers to the world's first fully automated stand-up act.
Now, Ron, you ever see Jim Bryan's routine where he's a slideshow for one of his comedy bits? It's really, really funny. It's I can't remember what the bit was about, but he has slides with his routine.
Dimitri Martin's been doing that for 15 years.
Yeah, I've seen that. And there's another comic around DC. That's what she does. She does like PowerPoint presentations, essentially. She's been doing that for a long time as well.
Yeah, I didn't have the budget, so I just did the imaginary pictures. So I would just like click like there's a picture, and I would just tell them what the picture was supposed to be.
My chair has arrived. I could go get it off the front step and come in here and have people watch me try to put it together.
No, but what you do is just go ahead and video it and then edit it together, make a short.
So tomorrow we won't have me doing this anymore. Are you sad?
A little bit.
Now let me come back because the Planet of the Apes thing. Were you serious about that? The apes are AI; they're not actors anymore.
No, they're actors.
Oh,
yeah. It's just they acted. Then after it's done, they go back and CGI the apes.
Oh, CGI.
Yeah, it's all mocap and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, but it is because whenever the first remake of Planet of the Apes is like, this looks like too phony to me. I guess I'm just too old school. I just like the original. It seemed
practical effects. I always preferred those as well over the digital stuff.
Right. Is that it for show business?
That's it for showbiz, everybody.
Showbiz. Let's all get out to the movies and No, let's not.
No.
Like in Star Wars, the one that had Jabba the Hutt in it, there was a scene that Jabba the Hutt was supposed to, I won't say walking, but slithering next to Han Solo. They were like moving and having a conversation. Solo was walking, but Jabba the Hutt doesn't really walk. And they didn't do that scene because they couldn't make it look right. You know, they shot it, but they didn't put it in the film. And then eventually, I think there's an extended version of whichever Star Wars it is. If it's The Empire Strikes Back or the Return of the Jedi, maybe Return of the Jedi, I think. And that they included, but it looks awful.
Return of the One-Eyed Snake, I think, is the name of it.
That's the porn version.
Ron talked about Disney and this conglomeration of corporations that are coming together, and we're having fewer corporations controlling everything we see. Did a video about that yesterday, or started a video. I'll probably finish it tonight. But the downfall of society, I think, culture-wise, can be traced back to Bill Clinton. I'm sorry if you're a Bill Clinton presidency fan, but this is the Telecommunications Act of 1996. Before that, we had privately owned radio stations, television stations all over the world. After that, we have really two companies that own all the television stations and radio stations. And now we're seeing it with movies. And I'm wondering, the point of the video is it too late to put the genie back in the bottle and repeal the part of the Telecommunications Act that made all these monopolies and force these monopolies to break up, so that we have more independent voices in radio, television, and even in movies and all arts? Because I think this is what killed the originality. This is why we have this situation that Ron's talking about with all these remakes and, you know, lack of original ideas, is because we have fewer people making the decisions. It was easier to have originality when we had radio stations that were owned by families who had 3 radio stations maybe and 3 different program directors. Now these corporations have one corporate program director who's programming for 500 stations around the country, and it's putting the same stuff on everything. So that's what I think, that's a big part of it.
Now, the only thing is that they can try to break it up, and actually, I'm all for that. The only thing is, who has the money to buy the independence again?
The same people who gave them up to the corporations were in 1996, or started in 1996.
Well, here's something like you had mentioned, Matt, especially about like radio stations. If you look for a while now, probably decades, at least a decade or more, there's a company called Sinclair